All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do the review of Perfect 10 issue number 4 from Genuine Comics. This is the fourth, volume, obviously, of the franchise that I really like. It's a crowdfunded comic created by Dave Brink. He is a comic creator that's doing this for a very long time. Successful, all crowdfunded his book. So what do I've got before we go into? I have some trading cards from Grotesque. New Villain Vendetta. She's also on the cover here. The Flying Dutchman. I'm Dutch. Dave is Dutch. But to be honest, that's me. I don't like the design, but that's a personal thing. If I do a Flying Dutchman, my creation would be totally different, but this is just me. You probably like it. I must say, in the book, it looks pretty fun, but the design in itself, although it has the Dutch colors except for the orange, but orange is a really big thing in our country. But the red and the white and the blue, it's all here. Yeah. And I have this one as last, Gorgeous, who is part of Gorgeous and Grotesque duo combo superheroes. Also, and it was actually a genuine, haha, no pun intended, surprise, we have a Heroes and Villains, the Art of Genuine Comics. This is volume 2. This was part of the campaign that we got for free. So that is very nice. So I'm going to show you a couple of pages. There is some fan art in here. There is some, people that, have some, Dave did some pinups. Dave not, but, the artist that he paid to do it. Very cool designs, I must say. This is one of my favorites because Jose Garcia has his own comic as well. Really well done, lots of detail. Personal favorites. Of course, we have Grotesque and Gorgeous here. She-Hulk-like character, probably, maybe. Not sure. Maybe I shouldn't, reveal too much, but, of course, from the Barton brothers, Corey Barton, also colorist. Colors looks nice, by the way. Really, really nice. Unused art promo pages and all that. There's a lot more here, so this is what you get for free. I'm interested in this one. It looks like he's coming out of a machine, right? It looks really, really well. So let's move on to the review. So I got this cover C. This was on, I believe, Fund My Comic. I'll leave all these links in the description, so if you want to check that out and you want to have this cover, I'm not sure if Fund My Comics is still up there. I believe so. I haven't checked, to be honest. He was also on Kickstarter, but the Indiegogo campaign is still up there. Check out the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, about this video. Subscribe to my channel and all the YouTube jazz. And you can, of course, watch all my Perfect 10 reviews, 1, 2, 3 here on this channel, Darksiders Comics. So yeah, without further ado, let's go in. I'm not doing a complete recap because it's going to take ages. So if you want to know what's going on, check out my reviews, come back to this video and watch it, right? All right. So there's some stuff happening in the city and, people are not happy, as you can see here. By the way, creator and writer, Dave Brink. Pencils and inks, Paul Rodriguez. Color, Daniel Rodriguez. Lettering, Joel Saavedra. Yeah. So I got this cover C from Dan Dahl and Federico Sioch. Back cover, Mike Bowden and Federico Sioch. Probably. I don't know. Pretty cool. So yeah, covers galore, guys. Before we go into, I said that now a couple of times, spoilers. I'm going to spoil everything. So beware. So if you do not want to get spoiled, do not watch this video. Maybe you have books on the way. I'm going to spoil everything. So without further ado, be warned, spoilers, let's go. Calamity is here and she wants to have a talk with Max. But Madam President is here as well. And So, but then her bodyguards immediately attacking Calamity, and well, it's gorgeous. So she was a bodyguard in disguise. I'm not sure if she's actually a bodyguard because there's not much, to be honest, background of these characters yet. Maybe it comes, but Dave is famous or infamous, maybe, for introducing a lot of characters. It's what he likes to do, and I don't blame him for that. For me personally, I like some characterization here and there, but the focus is now more on Calamity and the good and the bad side, and of course, Perfect 10, right? So she says basically, that was you not holding back, child. You're in serious trouble. And then she is displaying her power, and I must say, Pow is knocking out of the park. Now look at this gorgeous double page spread. Lots of detail, amazing. Really like Pow's art. He's great. Yeah. So the whole building is crumbling under her power, and she's kidnapping Max. Well, Gorgeous is rescuing the president, but then she asking Max or Roy to help Max. So Roy is basically the other half of, well, Grotesque and Gorgeous. Well, he's Grotesque, and he says, let's find out how tough you really are. So minor gripe. So he is censoring the swearing word. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe Dave wants to have this a PG-13 book. I guess, but I don't know. It's an indie book. I don't personally swearing is a thing, but I don't mind if it's censored. Feels a little bit off because there's a lot of blood and gore in this book, but swearing is a no-go, which I don't know. It doesn't for me make any sense. Small criticisms, but I have to point it out because that's my job, quote unquote job. That's what I'm doing on this comic. Dave and I, of course, know each other. We go on to each other's, we DM with each other. We talk to each other online and offline as well. But I always said if I make a review, even if it's a buddy of mine, I need to be as fair and neutral as possible. So I'm going to point out a critique when I see it. Let's forget that. I've got to edit this out. Anyway, we see Grotesque has been thrown into this part of the section of the building. Again, really, really cool. Love the colors, by the way. The colors are always nice to look at. Nice saturated, but not too saturated, if you know what I mean. It's just perfect balance. And so I believe Gorgeous has psionic powers, but I'm not entirely sure. And it seems that she has chaos powers, whatever that means. So more like a destructive force, but what her extent of her powers in or how that actually works, it's not really clear to me. It's not really clear to me. Anyway, so Max says, don't interfere, protect the president, evacuate the building. I'll be okay. So, all right, she complies. And then, but no, last issue, we had Perfect 10 going completely ballistic and kills my boy Crimson. He's dead. Oh man, I was so sad. I was so invested in this guy, and then Dave decided to kill him. Damn you, Dave. Poor Crimson. Anyway, she's getting kicked by the new character called Vendetta. Right, and everybody is kicking her ass. She wants to retaliate, but this is going horribly wrong because this acid guy is dissolving her foot. So, and this guy is slicing her per eye, and I thought, you know what, she's done. She's dead. She cannot get come up from this, and it seems that this guy that controls the wind wants to have fun with her, right? Unfortunately for him, she immediately recuperates and attacks him. That is also another gripe that I have. I mean, so first of all, she has some broken hands. Her arm is, I believe, very damaged. So she gets her eye sliced into, and her foot is being dissolved. I think, you could have show us a little bit of a section that she is really in pain, and that she takes some effort to do actually this, instead of shrugging everything off like it was nothing and then attacks him. Show her a little bit more in pain, like more vulnerable, instead of going, oh, I have a dissolving foot. My foot is not there. My arms and my eyes is not working anymore. Yeah, let's screw it, and ignores all that. Unless she is going through some serious trauma, and then the adrenaline pumping through her veins. Probably that's it, but it's not being showed or being told. So therefore, I have to point it out. So everything's going ballistic again, or crazy, because he's now using his wind power on her. But she's on top of him, and this is happening. So they are flying out of the citadel that is hidden. But I'm coming back to that a little bit later. And he said, "What did you do?" says this stretchy guy. And Gorwin is unconscious. We are a mile up. We're gonna die. No one can survive a fall like this. And she says, "Hey, how far can you stretch, Skinny? Save yourself and your friend." All right? And he says, "Oh, wow, the chick is intense." So he saves his buddy, but 10 is not so lucky, and she's falling down. Normal person would be, of course, dead, but Perfect 10 is not normal. Meanwhile, we go back to the superhero hideout, and so there is, I don't know, some kind of computer sound blaring about that. This building is safe again, some kind of a security system, but also they do not think that this building is actually safe. So basically, they try to evacuate the people, including this girl, that is called Replica. She's been, being held prisoner, and you can check it out in the last issue. Anyway, so Calamity have a word with Max, and he says, "What do you want, Calamity? If it's Replica, are you here to retrieve her? Because if so, I have to disappoint you. The girl is confused, not evil. She doesn't belong with the Prime Syndicate. She just needs help. She's not going anywhere with you." But then she says, well, she doesn't believe him, because she thinks that Max is actually using her, wants to turn her into a quote-unquote force of good, exploiting her powers and all that stuff. Basically doing the same, but then the other way around, right? And so he says, well, you're not going to get her. She's on our protection. He says, "You're a fool, Max Magenta. You are just a man in the presence of one of the most powerful metanormals on the planet, who you consider your nemesis. And taking the fact that you built syntoids to kill my people, I have every reason to obliterate you right here and now. Yet you are still alive. Are you not wondering why that is?" "It has crossed my mind, yes." And she says, "I need you." Basically, she needs his help. And he says, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" Also, she knows about that Max has sent metal marshals to the Citadel to deal with her people. There's a war between them going on, but it doesn't have to be. And she is basically to not make amends, but, like a ceasefire. And because Calamity talks about unnecessary casualties and all that stuff. And he says, I'm not going all through this dialogue, because I think you had to, read it for yourself, although I'm spoiling everything, basically. Max says, you talk like you are afraid of something. Did you just say you were just one of the most powerful beings on Earth? And you have an entire army of metanormals under your command. What do you need Division M for? Zeitgeist, she says. And he says, Zeitgeist? Is he still a threat? You killed him to take over the Prime Syndicate. I like that. Like I said, there's a lot of not much info about Calamity. It's been now revealed how she came to power. Not where she's coming from, but how she came to power, right? And basically, Zeitgeist is a major threat, right? And we see now basically a recap. Love the costume, by the way. Reminds me a little bit of Count well, from Marvel Comics. What is it? I don't know. I forget the name. Anyway, so it has this Z from Zeitgeist, and he can controls time, and he is ruthless. He says basically more like, "You come with me. You are joining our group. If not, you're gonna die." Right? And that's what he's doing. And there are some people that oppose to him, and he uses his power to basically draining their life force away by aging them, because he controls time somewhat. Oh yeah, Count Nefaria, and there's also another guy, Graviton. He also looks cool with a cowl like that. Graviton and Count Nefaria, it's awesome, cool looking villains. Anyway. So Calamity knows how dangerous he is, and she thinks he could turn on anyone. So she is trying to be in good graces and try to appease him. But then she is suddenly, in some point of time, battling him, and it seems that her chaos powers can cancel his time bending abilities, but without consequences. I mean, she's been aged up here. How she's become back to normal, I don't know. But it seems instead of killing him, I mean, he couldn't be killed. He used his powers to go in time, and even took some of the villains with him. Like a bunch of henchmen, I guess, which is really interesting to me. So it could be a very cool villain for in the future. I mean, we're probably gonna see it, right? Because Dave is, doing this for a long time, and I expect that he's doing a lot of Perfect 10 comics. I hope so, by the way. Anyway, so it's basically she says, "Hey, we need to have a ceasefire, and because we need to find some common ground to fight this adversary when he comes back." So it seems that he cannot go back in time, but into the future. So that means between now, tomorrow, or maybe in a couple of years, he's gonna pop up. And then Division M and she and her bunch of supervillains needs to be ready. But she says, you are our enemy, Max. I am crowned the leader of a large group of superpower criminals and outcasts who only follow me because they respect me, even if me reaching out to you for help is in their best interest. They will see it as a betrayal and weakness. The Prime Syndicate are dangerous people, but at least they are united. They have a home and sense of community. Them losing faith in me will lead to turmoil with devastating consequence for everyone. So she says, well, we had already have a truce. Why not do it again, right? And but also she says that because the Syntoid, Perfect 10, is in her citadel, and Prime Syndicate is dealing with her, she sees that as payback. And since Perfect 10 is now quote unquote out of the way, although she doesn't know what happened on the Prime Citadel as we speak, she thinks that she and Max will find common ground to battle the enemy. Then the Flying Dutchman comes in, as you can see here, is pretty powerful, and he says, "Your reign of terror is over, Calamity," right? But then Max says, "No, you need to let it go," and he says, "I hope you know what you're doing, Mr. Magenta." But he does. He made a wise decision. Seems like we have an understanding there, Max. Good to know. Only leaves our little aisle regarding Replica. You are right about her. She's a kind soul. She doesn't belong with the Prime Syndicate. My people expecting me to bring her back, but it wouldn't be right. Maybe you will use her as a pawn for your own ends, but I won't. I don't even have to lie to the Prime Syndicate about it. They understand. We don't want weaklings in our ranks. Goodbye, Max. Let's not meet again. All right. That's actually intense and pretty cool. Meanwhile, we have our new, a couple of villains called Farine. This is this anamorphic, I believe, human that can turn into different animals. And we have Vendetta. Did I say that correctly? Yeah. So they are looking for Perfect 10. She's not there, and she's using her wolf powers to track him, right? Great stuff. Meanwhile, we go back to the Citadel. Well, not to the Citadel, to Division M. Is it Division M? Well, into the Power Tower. Yeah, that's it, right? And so Grotesque is using his power to rip off this door because the computer says, well, no, the building is not, under threat, and the integrity is cool, and they said, okay, let's open this up, right? And this is why you never made it through the Meta Academy, Grotesque. With Gorgeous to rein you in, you're too destructive. I prefer the term efficient. Thank you very much. So she says, am I free to go? Well, we don't know. But he is running to the computers because Calamity asked him to call back the Meta Marshals that is now attacking the Citadel, right? Meanwhile, it seems this is the doctor that I believe overseer the project of creating syntoids, right? And so Madame President says, well, hey, I know what you want. You can want to have your biolaboratory back. So you get, we give you the opportunity to do that. So free funds and all that stuff because his work is a complete breakthrough when it comes to meta-humanoids, metazoids, syntoids, technology and all that stuff. But then he says, well, regarding Perfect 10, she's human. She didn't... maybe, well, normally it's so that the syntoids have, I don't know, mind blockers or something, or mind wives, so that you do not know what they are doing. And that's what the president is want to have safety protocols built in. And he says, no, she's Perfect 10, she's totally different. And but then Madam President says, in case you missed this was an assassination intent on me. Calamity threw me off the power tower. Without my bodyguards, I would have been dead right now. These supervillains are getting a lot bolder by the day, and there's a lot of them. Division M is doing the best to keep this country safe, but our meta marshals can be everywhere. We're in a war. Syntoid number 10 is created for a purpose. Sorry, with a purpose. And whatever desires it thinks it has are a hindrance to the cause. Just an error that will be corrected. It's important that we get you back to work as soon as possible, Miss Pratt. This country needs you to make thousands more tens. And Flying Dutchman is flirting with with this girl. Wow. The best page in this comic. I thought, you know what, the double spread in the beginning, right? Here, the display of power was the best one, which is, this is the better one. Just because we have this, I don't know, very gorgeous art. Everything just fits. Colors are nice. Perfect 10 is on the verge of being dead, right? By Calamity and this shape-shifting woman. But then, oh no, she's being saved by this guy called, well, I'll come back to that a little bit later. So he's using some kind of a void blast to take these guys out. And, Animal Changing Girl is also being dealt with. This is, to be honest, a little bit odd when it comes to, it's a little bit wonky, to be honest. Well, anyway. I like Vendetta's design. It's simple but effective, and it just works. So this woman is becoming intangible, and then she's taking over a body. And she says, this body, it feels strong and agile. I like it. I admit, I like it too. So he says, 10, Max Sanders, my name is Stellar, and my teammate is called Phantasma. We're here to rescue you. And she says, stay away, I kill people. And I love that she is also hurt and in pain and all that stuff, right? But she's regenerating. But then I believe Max, not Max, but part of the Meta Marshals are calling them, and that they need to retreat because they had a call from Max, right? And but then it seems that the Prime Syndicate find out that they are hovering around their citadel. They are being taken out, and they are crashing down. So this pilot says, hey, I try to steer us into the citadel, or we plummet down to the abyss. prepare yourself. So, and then as you know, this girl using her hair power to protect everyone, and he has some kind of a kinetic absorbing ability, so he will be fine, probably, maybe. Meanwhile, well, not meanwhile, after this, we're gonna see, yeah. So this whole ship is crashing down into the Prime Citadel's headquarters. And yeah, we see Diabolique, if I'm saying that correctly, or Diabolic. Another great character that, you know, visually. And yeah, that leads us probably to what's happening in the next issue, but not before. We're going to see what's happening at the last page. It seems that she remembers now anything, and she is attacking her friends. So I do not know what that means for the next issue, but it sure is gonna be fun. So guys, yes, this is it. Great stuff. Really like it. Action-packed. Very well done. Another 10 from Perfect 10 from Genuine Comics, made by Dave Brink and Paul Rodriguez and Mr. Rodriguez, right? Who did the colors. A great lettering for Joe Savera too. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this. Leave a comment below and all that YouTube jazz. You know, subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.